Oh, what's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast of the purpose. And hold on. And our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. We created this podcast on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency so we can know each other, so we can love one another. And welcome back to another Sunday Night Live. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? But yes, it is Sunday, of course. You see the information for the Zoom right there. Hey Jay, how's it going? And man, we ain't gonna be on here too long with y'all. We just want to give a little love. We got 11 days until we hit the age of 40, baby, and I feel like taking a nap every single day. I feel good as far as health wise. I am thankful to be where I'm at in life and continue to grow and build upon the blessings that I've been able to receive. So thank you, Jesus, for everything that we got. How y'all doing this Sunday? How y'all been? How y'all been? How y'all been, man? Oh, a week feel like it's been so long. It happened. It came quick, but it felt so long to get here. Hey, Arnisha. Hello, Jazzy. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, if this your first time in here, welcome. This is a podcast with a purpose. This is a podcast where we have conversation with our audience, our guests. We bring different people on our platform where we have intimate conversations with them, whether it be about them personally or it be about live, learn, and professional experiences about the topic we choose to have. Okay. But on Sundays, we just come together and just chop it up with y'all. Okay, see what's happening, what's going on in the news, what's going on in society. Shout out to the what is it, Spain that won the World Cup, turned up for Spain. I ain't really watch it. Hey, soccer, as much as you try to explain it to me, ain't never been my. I got into soccer for a little bit in my younger days. I used to always play as the goalie, but I can never stick with it. But it's too much cardio to me, too much running around, and as y'all can see, it's something I may need, but it's something I don't do. But shout out to Spain again and all the people who's playing football out here in this world. I think soccer, what football or what we call it in America soccer is truly an everything culture sport. And I look forward to talking about soccer and things in the future because talking about the culture of sports. But yeah, but man, how are y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's really going on? But thank y'all for tapping the screen. Make sure to share the live. We have 11 days to the B day, August 1st. I am sending out the invites. I'm gonna make the post. Hey, ice cream and cake. I'm about to make the post public. The people who reserved the RSVP will be to the VIP section we'll be having, but I'm looking forward to having a networking event August 1st here in Houston, Texas, and just meeting more people, growing, building. Just because we've been doing this a certain amount of time doesn't mean we're going to stop building our platform and meeting new people and growing in the way the Lord wants us to grow. But yeah, ugh, listen. Let's start the conversation off tonight. What is the longest friendship that you've had in your lifetime? I'm not talking about the longest person that you've known. I'm talking about the longest actual friendship that you've had in your lifetime. I'm blessed to have quite a few that friends that I talk to daily, weekly, every other week, monthly, however you put it. But I have some true friends that I've had for a long period of time in life. Okay, and I'm thankful for that. Even if we don't talk every month, we may talk every 2, 3 months at that. But we got to check in. I check in on my guys, um, Garrick and Adrian, almost every day or every other day. I check in with my guy Ron every. Oh, thank you, Arnisha. My guy Ron every so and so month. We may go on a tear that we chopping it up with each other every day, but I got my people Mike, I got Javier, I got Will. I don't know where Will at right now. I got my homegirls from Kashana, Quana. I got my people all around. I can keep naming all my friends. I don't know if they want their name out here to be. Hopefully, they feel comfortable being associated with me. Yeah, I got wifey. That's the bestest of friends. You feel me? But it's a blessing to have friends. These relationships, once again, respect, communication, and consistency. I hope that me and my friends continue to establish those three pillars that we have here on this podcast, as well as into the connections we have with one another. And I am the last one of my close friends to turn, my male friends to turn 40. Okay. I'm the last one. I'm holding it down. My boy AJ just hit 40. All right. If y'all ain't been looking at social medias, I'll be sharing pictures and things of that nature. But bruh, I may look the oldest, but I am the youngest. I'm the baby at the crew. And we had a great time celebrating with one another. I wish Chris could have been there. I wish Rashad and some others could have been there. But it's a blessing to have connections that we've had a certain amount of time. I've been friends with G Jack, y'all may know him as, since legit Head Start, since 4 or 5 years old. So we 40 now. So it is 35, 36 years. Crazy. Thank God that we living. That we ain't had to take, some long vacations with one another. That just been friends, connections and damn near brothers. I see, me and my best friend EJ, we met when we was in the fifth, sixth grade. And Arnisha, I've been my best friend. I've had my best friend since the third grade. Yeah. And as a woman, listen, I hate to do all that, but it makes a difference when y'all have those long relationships like that. That's what I've recognized and that's what I've heard. But I just want to say shout out to my guys, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm so happy that we're able to make it to 40. Um, we come together, and every time we come together, we joke and we laugh and we reminisce. And I think this year I'm gonna hit them up. And if y'all listening to this, like we have to, I would love to have a conversation about our friend Felix. And before I get into that, you know, happy birthday again, Adrian, Roe, Garrett, and even Rashad even hit 40, man. Like we all getting there. But it just coming together and once again celebrating one another. It's beautiful. Like it's truly amazing. That's family. And I don't think everybody has the opportunity or get that in life. And I just want to continue to say that I'm thankful for that. I don't want the Lord to think I'm dismissive or I don't recognize my friends and my connection. I am truly thankful for that. And I'm going to continue doing that and hopefully we can continue to celebrate life for another 40 years. I see it with my uncles and my elder cousins, but I want them to take care of your health, man. Eat right. Watch out for that new lettuce we got out here. We'll talk about that later. But blood pressure, diabetes, colon, prostate, like so many things that we have to take a bit more serious now because we're up in age. We ain't young and spry like we used to. We don't get up like we used to. We don't even lay down like we used to. Okay. Now we look good. Like I was like, man, listen, to be 40 and be in the condition and mm, I'm blessed to be here, you know. But I am mindful that I want to continue to be friends with my people for as long as the Lord allows us, and we have to take better care of ourselves. We got to check in on this, my guys, my ladies. Should take care of yourself. I know it may be selfish of me, but I want you to be around more. I want to see us when we old and we picking up new hobbies, and I get to pick the brain. I don't want to live this world with yeah, and that's crazy. That's a hard thing, to think about it. I could, we don't want to imagine, but the thing is, with me and my guys, we don't have to imagine. We lost a near and very dear friend of ours when we were 17, 18 years old. Like, let me talk about 2 weeks out of high school. Man, and in the way, and I think a lot of us changed in these moments, you know. And once again, none of this was expected. Usually, I get on Sundays and I'm like, I have my few things I want to talk about, but I didn't write anything down about discussing Felix. But it's just what's on my heart, what God is putting in me right now, and we are men now, families, homes, careers. And it's hard to know that we lost a friend that he wasn't able to reach these milestones with us because his life was cut so short. Man, what was that? If I do the math, with um 40 minus 18, 22 years ago. Just life is just starting, honestly. And it's that's why I say I hold my friends near and dear, and I think we all do with each other because we know life is fleeting. We know things can get cut short extremely. It's not promised. I know other friend groups and things that have lost friends. We lost a friend thinking of Ted, man. I ain't even think like listen, it ain't car accidents, all these different things, man. So be thankful for your friends. Like I'm glad we don't, we have our differences and things of that nature, but the love is still there. The respect, the respect can waver at times with some of us, but we have a bond with one another that a lot of folks don't have, and I'm thankful for that. I see it all the time that people fall out and lose connections and lose, um, love for one another. But I'm glad to have a group of peers and friends that I can call that. Okay. Man, but one day I want to just talk about it with my guys. And every time I talk to a youth, every time I talk, and when I talk about from a family member, a person in the community, someone in high school getting ready to go to college, I'll pray for them. And I truly try to advise them to be careful. Why be careful? It was my grandmother-in-law. She said you got to watch your playthings, your play pals, and your playground. You may not be the one doing anything wrong, but danger and problems are waiting for you all around, and that's a scary thing. I remember, I'm telling you, the day he lost his life, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was just talking about this not too long ago. I remember, and the very, I say crazy, but the surreal thing about it was my aunt Brenda. She used to, once again, I tell people, my friends used to hate coming over to my house because she used to put us to work. It wasn't like they just go come over and play the game and kick it and chill, or just no. She gonna have just like if I got a chore list, they got a chore list, and I'm gonna make sure they hold. If I'm doing, y'all go do it with me too. Okay, but we had to rake some leaves in the backyard, and this day, Felix, we had plans. Me and him had plans. And Felix and he came over, and my auntie like, y'all go rake some of these leaves just in this backyard on this side. We're like, come on. We didn't even do nothing crying because we just together. School is out. We got, man, we was up to some stuff, but either way, man, we were about to, we just knocked out the leaves. We didn't do no complaining. We was back there laughing, tripping out, whatever, talking about what we got going on for later on that evening, what we got going on later on for applying to college. Because none of my other friends were talking about going to college like him and I was talking about going to college. talking about our girlfriends at the time and things of that nature, yada yada. And we came back inside, and he was telling me about a young woman that he knew that they used to court each other, or he used to court her. Listen, I'm using court like I was born in 1932. I just know what it means. They used to kind of date. We can say they used to mess around, okay? And this young woman was like in the Dallas area, and he found out that she lost her life recently. And he was really tore up about that because he was like, it was an innocent bystander situation. And I remember we was in the kitchen. My aunt made us breakfast, and she was talking. We was all talking together. We got to be careful. Everything I'm saying right now, and I worry about when I say this because you never know. But she was like, "Yeah, you got to watch out. Things happen. Like it was a domestic violence dispute between her mother and her stepfather. Stepfather opened fire and accidentally hit her. The child, the girl, lost her life." I'm like, man, and I gotta add this about Felix too. Felix was my only friend that used to say, this is once again 2004. Used to say, man, dog, I love you. And we used to tell him, man, you gotta chill out with all that I love you stuff, man. We don't You gotta chill out all that. We don't be doing all that, man. He's like, nah, I'm gonna tell you I love you because I do love you. And in that day and age and that time, that was very. You could say he didn't even say like we didn't even have pause and all that back in the day. And he was like, I ain't pausing nothing. I do love you, man. I'm happy to have you as a friend. I'm blessed. Everything I'm saying that I come to realization, he was already on that. That's why I want people to understand. He was already on that. He was very much emotionally intelligent. Now don't get it twisted. Don't He was an asshole. He was a liar at big times. I don't want y'all ever think, yeah, he was just so perfect. Nah, he had his issues, okay? But we end up fast forward through this whole story. 'Cause I can be here all night. Once again, this is like been in my mind. We end up getting separated for the day. I sort of link back up with him, but I end up kicking it with my girlfriend. Her and I went out of town for the day, and when I came back in town, me and him, I said I'm back, and he was already at this party. Okay, shout out to my guy, the Circle Boys. And it was my group and their group. I'm cool with both, but we used to throw parties. All right, and while throwing this party, we went to their party, and him and we dipped out for a little bit, got some party favors, let's say that, and then we slid back. And long story short, we were supposed to leave again. We left. We was about to leave early. If you from East Texas or you from any type of country city, not a country, not a little town, but look, got the little city to it and got the country to it. If you from that, we're at a club in the country, not the, I would say dirt roads, okay? And you know where your park is going to be. Hey, Ashley, it's going to be some space where it's going to be field. Either going to be some woods or going to be field. But everybody, you parking on the grass. So we getting rid of the car, and I just never forget. My homegirl, she just got some new rims in her car, and she trying to show me. I'm like, okay. Him and I like shoulder to shoulder. Okay, that's how close we are. And I step away from. I'm talking about just no more than 2, 3 steps at best. And we start hearing the popping. Now we used to people shooting in the air. We used to people just doing fireworks. We used to people being dumb and irresponsible. Okay, because we used to throw parties ourselves. But I'm telling people, man, chill out. They just shooting in the air until I see a probably 70, 80 yards away. I see the fire from the barrels are going on. And that's when I pull my homegirls down. All right, get down. Whoa, even though they're that distance still, the projectiles. And I'm always very cool under stress. If you know me, if you're a friend of mine, I'm very chill under stress. I rarely panic. So I see my partner Adrian. He had this before camera phones, y'all. This is before TikTok. This is before social media. I was thinking I'd be 40 in 11 days. I see him with the camera. His the it's not even digital. He has a cassette in there because the video camera, the portable camera. I'm trying to think what we used to call it, and he's recording everything. And I remember pulling him down too. You know, thank God we 40 camcorder. Yes, I pull him down, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get in here. I remember my boy Courtney, and we just get inside. All right, we get inside, and I'm just really just focused. I remember chilling on a pool table. And I'm just like, man, wait till this all die down. Everybody hysterical. I'm like, man, let's get past this. We gotta go. Let's air die down and we gonna slide out. And I remember hearing Rayniqua. I know she hate Rain yelling, and I think it was I may be wrong. I remember Dottie. I was saying names, and I remember yelling like, "Oh no, Felix, Felix!" You know, the yelling. I'm like, listen. When I tell you my my mind was nowhere near because I know they ain't my dog. They yelling about and they screaming about. I know a Mexican Felix that went to our high school, and I don't know what he doing. I guess he threw out. Oh man, that's crazy. So I go outside. I'm walking, still chilling. I'm telling you, ain't nothing hit me until I saw his shoe on the ground. Until I saw his um I think he's wearing on Nike Cortez. I saw one of his shoes on the ground, and that's when the fight or flight went into effect. And once again, I'm still calm, still cool. I run over, and I remember people coming telling me like I'm like legit tossing guys out of the way. Like I don't know my strength to tell people, but I see them in a crowd, I'm just knocking people over. I get to him, he's there, and I want to say, I ain't even gonna give y'all that, but he was alive until he made it to the hospital. Got hit with a 22 in the chest, no blood, anything in the nature. You get hit by a 22, even though it's a small. And listen, I'm touching his body, trying to I'm yelling, I'm not even yelling. I'm just tossing people my phone. Call this number here, this here. I'm big on planning when we have a emergency, but it's so much that happened that night, and once again, it's surreal when people watch stuff on. If you, it's when people ask me why I haven't watched this movie or that movie, especially a series like with I haven't watched The Wire, I haven't watched Power, I haven't watched The Shy because I've seen it in life. You feel me? Those type of films and things and shows show a lot of black trauma. I don't need to experience a fictional trauma from the traumatic experience I've had in my life already. That is surpass my life surpasses that, And I'm not usually entertained by it. That's why I watch sci-fi, weird stuff. I can watch horror. Get me out of it because life has been so damn a movie. So I'm thankful to make it to 40. And, I still got 11 days. Hey, it's not a promise. And everything I'm saying right now, that's why. And I've told people before, I thought when I lost my mother when I was 15, that nothing bad would ever happen to me again in life. You know, I'm not there yet, Ashley. I got a couple more days, got a few more days, got 11 more. But when I lost my mom, I honestly thought nothing else was gonna happen. So when I lost my best friend, the way I lost him, I like stuck, stuck. I was at, and then and people don't say I had to, we had to call all our friends calling us and like because the ones who were not there that night it was like tell what where I know tell me this ain't true and just to we grieve, man. And I got to check on my guy Kyron too. Listen, even everything I'm saying, I got to be a better friend myself as well. Because sometimes I slip, and I know he's probably there already, but I this is a year. These are the times that we have to check on each other. This world It is crazy. Groceries too high, gas too high, expenses steady going up. Um, but we have to take care of one another. That's one of the best things we got to do. We must do. Love thy neighbor. You know, my hopes for that's a good question, Ashley. What are my hopes for the 40? Same thing. My hopes for this year is like for me to continue to serve the purpose that God has for me, to accomplish more in my education and my growth in my career, to accomplish more in building connection and growth through my platform here and everything culture, as well as my individual ability as Mr. Drake. You know what I mean? Continue to be a better family man, be a better man in the community, and better child of God. And that is the truth. Just my thing now is just I want to be a better me tomorrow than I was today. And I hope to be a better man today than I was yesterday. So these are some of the focus I have for me stepping into 40. I hope y'all can make it out. Once again, we got pickleball on the 31st. We're on the first. We were gonna do a live show, but they tripping. But we're gonna do a networking, meet and greet and things. So if you're a podcast, you're a platform, you have any type of connection you want to build here in the Greater Houston area, man, holler at me. This is something we're gonna kick off. I'm gonna try to figure out if we can record one another, continue to build with one another, and I'm just grateful to have y'all here. If y'all know a photographer, a videographer that's interested in coming through, let me know. But overall, man, yeah, this has been on my mind this week. And I'm thankful y'all for listening to me and being a part of this. I hope y'all continue to subscribe and share and support everything culture. And yeah, I'm grateful for y'all. So as always, man, I'm Drake, B Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast with a purpose. Our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we created this podcast on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency so we get to know each other so we can love one another. Thank y'all again. God bless. Peace.